Oh, we got hot mics. Exciting. Hi. I love
I
you.
guess our mics were hot.
Hi,
Well, we're
folks.
back, everybody. Hello. So I guess we're just gonna start our introductions over again. So let's start with V's.
Hi, V's Knees at Twitter, or at V's Knees on Twitter. This is my first stream game with Welcome to the Party. I have shown up a couple of times on Scraticus Academy. I will be playing the Janus playbook, Danny Murphy, aka Conversion.
All right. Cellar Door.
Hey there, I am Cellardor10 or Jane, but Cellardor10 on Twitter, and I've been on a few different Welcome to the Party one-shots, but never a full campaign. So I'm really excited to play on a campaign. I'm really excited to play Masks for the first time, and I am playing Luce, also known as Shadow Smoke, and she is the Delinquent playbook, so I will be making trouble.
All right, and Dom.
Hey everybody, I'm Don. I've never been in a long-term campaign for Welcome to the Party before, but I recently ran our very first side quests in the one-shot series premiering on Monday, and I was in a few of the one-shots for the charity stream for Raices. Currently tonight and going forward, I will be playing Wyatt Thorne from the Beacon playbook, also known as Foil.
And Rain.
I am Rain Hayes, and I am all over the place on this channel. I was I was in our last Mask campaign. I'm also in our Legend of the Five Rings campaign on Sunday mornings, and our Ravnica campaign on Mondays. I will be playing Ionomith Bess, also known as Iona Virtue and the Pathfinder, out of the Outsider playbook.
And Paladin Hulk.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. I'm a regular on Margaret Crone's charity game, and I'm in a pirate D&D game. And this is my first time here on the channel. Super excited to do some superhero stuff. I love superheroes. And I'm playing Lance, also known as Intervention Boy, a name which he does not like.
All right, so we are going to start by going through some of y'all's backstories. How should we start with? Let's start with Intervention.
Boy.
Intervention Boy, yes.
Intervention is my legacy. She's one step ahead.
Intervention Boy. All right. So as Lance, let's describe how did you get your powers?
Lance got his powers by he was playing near the water, and he got exposed to some toxic waste from our local super villainy evil tech place, which the name of which I forgot. Super Tech? Is it Super Tech?
Super.
Yeah, memory. Anyway, so he was really sick, and then the superhero known as Intervention, she is an other planar being. She came down from the heavens, picked up Lance, took him back to the heavens, and there he healed. And while healing, he got superpowers, because that's what happens when you're in such a weird place as that is, which I've worked on. And his powers are super strength, super speed, and sadly, godlike beauty, which I'm not a fan of, but the other two didn't fit.
All right, so I guess we can start this scene in the Almond Key, right?
The place is on Wasi, and the people are on K.
In the on Sea. So Intervention comes up to you, and so she's like, "So, I hear you've been doing better. That's great. So, how have you been feeling? Just are you back to normal, or?
I don't know. I'm glad to be better. Just I'm happy to not be sick anymore. This is such a strange place to be.
I mean, we've never really taken anyone up your girls before. You are definitely one of the first.
It's been fun getting to know everybody, like all the different Anke.
Mm.
Actually, getting to talk to An was real fun. Like that is an imposing figure. Everybody looks so different.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just kind of how it is up here, but, you know, we all just try to help those down on Earth over in Halcyon City. So, we don't really know how being up here would affect you. Have you felt any different? How do you think you should feel?
I don't know. I'm supposed to feel here. I might feel different when I get back down to Earth. But I do feel fine. I feel, strong. I'm glad to have recovered. I haven't noticed anything super weird.
Well, I mean, I guess, you know, just if you do notice anything, just contact us, and we can see what's going on from there.
How do I contact you?
You see, are the Alonsi, as your legacy, do they have any specific sort of technology, or
The Anke are like Asgard people, so there's probably one for that.
So, well, if you just call out for me, and hopefully someone should be there to see you. But let me know.
Oh, cool. I mean, I don't take this the wrong way, but being sick, that was scary. I really thought I was going to die there for a second. Thanks so much for saving me, Intervention. Everything they say about you is true.
Well,
I mean,
we do care.
You're like an angel, really.
No, we're nothing like that. You know, we're just who we are. I'm just Intervention. So, I guess I'll see you off now.
All right.
I guess we can fast forward to, let's say your parents' place. What are the name of your parents?
My parents are Beverly and Marco Myers.
What are they like?
Beverly is an overworked lawyer, a defense attorney, a pro bono defense attorney, or pro bono, a public defender. That's the word. And she is very stressed, and she likes to cook, and she really likes her family, but she doesn't have nearly as much time as she'd like to spend with us. And Dad is an insurance company manager, and he hates his job, but he is really good at it. So he likes to spend time with the wife watching sports, and he likes to bet on sports. Lance is like a jock, so the family bonds over sports.
Okay. So when your power started to manifest, would you have contacted Intervention immediately, or would have been?
I think the parents would contact her right away, because they're worried, and I'm saying this happens right in front of them because they'd be keeping an eye on him for a bit. And then, Mom hands you a glass of milk and you just crush it and you're fine. Something's up. And then you try the other thing.
All right, so we'll fast forward to Intervention being back in Halcyon City, talking to you and your parents. So, So your parents said that you've started to exhibit a couple of different powers.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Is this normal? And then I just super speed my hand. Look, I was never able to do this before. It's weird. Also, I'm real strong now, and I like pick up something heavy. But nah, I was already able to lift that. All right, I don't see anything that I wasn't able to lift before. But you're just gonna have to trust me. I'm strong now.
Tell you what, let's go to the backyard and let's test a few things out. Have you trying to see what else you're capable of?
Oh no, I'm real scared. Like, is this bad?
Well, no, you'll be fine. I mean, if anything, you're obviously stronger now, stronger than we saw before. So, like just to be safe, we should, definitely see exactly where you're at, exactly what's going on with you.
That makes sense. All right. Well, let's step into the backyard then. Intervention. Gosh, it's a real honor to have you in our house. I feel like I should I offer you like a drink? Would you like some orange juice or something?
Oh no, thank you. I ain't fine. I don't usually get all my sustenance over on once.
All right. Well, I guess we're going in the backyard then. Don't mind that pile of garbage over there. It's just I'll get to that later.
So in the backyard, it's like, what would you do to try and exhibit all the different possibilities, strengths? Like copying the things you've seen in convention do. How would you go about trying to do it?
I think first I'm gonna jump because that seems like an easy way to show off super strength. And then I just jump real high, way higher than I thought I would jump. And then I fall to earth and I'm basically fine, which is also alarming.
Interesting. Alright, so you can obviously jump real high. Maybe you've seen some of your strength. Let's see. I think intervention probably bring out a couple different things, like some pieces of scrap metal. It's like, can you see what you can do with this? Let's see just how strong you are. How you're able to manipulate your strength.
All right. I grab it and just crush it. And I'm like, oh my God, I just crushed that. It's made of metal. Oh boy, I gotta be real careful about what I'm gonna touch. I just drop it like it's made of kryptonite.
And what were your other skills?
Godlike beauty and super speed. But the godlike beauty we can just safely ignore.
Well, no. How does the godlike beauty manifest?
I don't know. Like, it's such a subjective thing, Like,
Sure.
what even is that?
Is it just you look like your normal self, but you have a radiance to you?
I think it's that. It's just, that he's slightly more, special looking.
You're like Hercules at the end of the movie, where he
Yeah,
just
but
sort of
I've
glows.
also got that power in there because I'm gonna get that when I level up. There's like a divine armor thing, and that's what I get. I get the Hercules divine golden halo thing.
My intervention is like, that's all right. So Lance, it looks like you have some powers going on there for you.
Yeah, is this forever? Is it gonna wear off?
We can't say. We've never seen someone else exhibit our powers who wasn't from see. So,
Dang. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get powers.
Don't worry about it. But now that you do have powers, it's up to you to decide what to do with them. I mean, you can always try and hide them and try to live a normal life. I'm sure since House on City, I'm sure a lot of people do that. And some people, try to do good with it, become heroes like we did.
I'm just scared I'm gonna hurt people right now.
Well, things like that always come with time. But, when you learn to control yourself and your powers, maybe you'll have a better idea of what you want to do. But she'll grab your shoulder and give you a little squeeze, but whatever you do, whether you choose to follow us or become a hero like I am, or, just go along and try to be a normal person. Just make sure you're making the right decision, doing what you need for you.
All right. That's interesting.
With powers like these, it tends to be a responsibility.
Right.
So,
Responsibility.
indeed. Well, if you have any other questions, I can't always come around, but I'll come by when I can. Just
All right.
let me know if you need me.
I guess I'll try to just practice to not crush everything I touch.
Well, we'll just keep on practicing and try to be gentle with things.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Thanks, intervention.
Well, seeing you around, Lance. I look forward to seeing your future.
Yeah, me too.
Right. And with that, we're going to switch.
Slightly deviated from my the way I've said it in before now, because in my backstory, as I'd written it, intervention wanted me to use the powers for good. That was her.
You said it was implied.
Yeah, so implied that I should be a superhero, and that's how he took it, and that's a fairly firm basis for the character. So
I just implied that you could become a superhero.
Yeah, but you also implied that I should just do whatever, and I could choose not to be a superhero, which is the option he would actually want.
Well, it's up to you to take what she said how you want to. So
Right.
if
But
you're taking what she said as you don't want to be a superhero.
no, she said that was an option, and I had it written as use your powers for good. And that's an implied statement for this. It's fine, we can roll with it. It's just that we're now deviating. It's fine.
Right, let's go to Shadow Smoke.
All right.
So how did Shadow Smoke get her powers? Or is that loose, right?
Loose, yeah. So she was hanging out at the lab with her dad, who appears to have you all don't know this yet, but has a penchant for bringing children into the lab when they maybe shouldn't be there. But she ran away. I don't know if she ran away or she's just hiding under a table, just doing a kid thing. And a substance ate through the table, and it the substance covered her all over, and she gradually sort of realized she had powers.
Would your father have been in the same room as you when this ate through the table, or would you have gone into somewhere else?
I think in my imagination he was kind of in and out. He was very distracted by whatever experiment or test tube or whatever he was working on. He was watching me that day,
Alright, so let's go to that day.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that you were just out of sight, maybe in the next room over. So
Sure. Yeah.
as your father's coming, he's Luce? Luce, where are you? You're not supposed to run around.
I'm here. Fine.
He walks into the room and he's oh god, looks like something spilled. Are you alright? You didn't touch anything, did you?
That depends on how you define that sentence. I didn't touch anything.
What happened, Luce?
Well, it might have touched me.
Let me see. Where did it touch you? Was this just
Everywhere. It touched me everywhere. It's all over. I am covered in it. Is this bad?
All right, you'll stand in the shower. We have showers just for these kind of situations. Just try to get everything off you. It's not burning or anything, is it?
No, I'm feeling kind of like, what's that thing where you're like, you don't feel like you're totally here?
Explain it to me while you're in the shower. Just,
and I think at that point, maybe she like sort of teleports for the first time. She's like kind of stressed and trying to figure out what it is. I think she like appears like 2 feet away or something, just suddenly.
what was that?
That was the thing. Did I do that? Why are you over there?
Alright, so this thing's gonna, he walks over, he grabs you, and he shoves you into the shower. And you come down, just try and get as much of this stuff on. Maybe it's just a temporary thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just, maybe you should come with me to work for a while, just, to see, maybe we can figure out what's going on with you.
Okay. Alright, sure, Dad.
Just gotta be careful around here. I only like coming around and watching what I do and whatnot, but I'm really not supposed to be taking around here now. I don't want to get in trouble for this. And even worse, this might hurt you. You're the last person I want to get hurt, especially because of my work.
All I did was sit down under a table.
Exactly.
I didn't do anything wrong, Dad.
You sat under a table in a room that I wasn't working on.
I was sitting under the table for like an hour and you didn't care until now.
Let's just go home. We'll talk about this more later.
Fine.
And as you continue going to work with your father, like, what do you end up doing while you're there? As he's trying to figure out what's happened to you.
Well, I mean, I assume, like, at this point, I'm not fully delinquentized or whatever yet. I'm still trying to really, like, get the attention of my fam. So, I think I'm just, like, pretty compliant. I'm trying to, figure out what this thing has done to me. So I think I'm, I probably gradually, am teleporting myself further and further. And then maybe eventually to places that I can't immediately see or whatever. And at some point I start, being like, I think probably what happens is he asks, if there's anything else I can do. And I'm just like, well, I keep seeing this image, and I throw up, an image of something, and that illusion comes up. I don't know, I'm a kid, maybe, I don't know, it's like a unicorn or something. An image of a unicorn pops out of my hand and is just, there. And is like, oh, huh, that's a thing. And gradually learns she can, do that, and starts doing more, larger and more complicated over time.
Okay, well, it doesn't seem to have gone away. It actually seems to be getting more powers now.
What does that mean? Am I,
I don't know.
Powers?
When I first saw you, you did that thing where you seemed to have teleported 2 feet in another direction. Now you're throwing out images. I don't know. This might take a while to figure out. But you really just don't be using your powers, especially not in public.
Oh. I can't use them? Why not?
You don't need to use it. You're a kid. Not much good can come out of it.
They seem pretty cool.
Just don't use them anyways. I mean, we don't know what that means for you.
Fine.
So over time, how do you end up becoming a delinquent?
Oh, well, obviously I want to use my powers. I think part of it is feeling like I know I can get away with it because my powers are teleportation and illusion, and so I know that there are ways that I can get away with doing things. And also I think there's an element of really wanting attention. And that gets me attention, right?
Okay, so what specific things have you done exactly?
So
What would you use your powers to do?
So fast forwarding several years, so I think the primary uses are, I've gotten pretty suspicious of super tech over time, and so I think I sort of regularly break into their facility, to try and find evidence of anything they're doing wrong, and I don't necessarily have specific things that I'm looking for, but yeah. And then I also think on a less serious note, what somebody just posted in the Zoom chat, yeah, occasionally I just teleport away and grab a snack and then teleport right back to what I was doing, and the people around me are very confused, and I get to be like, I could just do that. That kind of thing. Yeah, so I think on the serious note, she's breaking in for a reason, and then otherwise she's just kind of, she knows she can get away with it. She can probably make some money off of it. She uses it for sort of petty crime stuff. Somebody needs cigarettes or a fake ID or that kind of thing. She's there for it. She's the local, she's the high school I got a guy kind of person,
Right. So with that, let's switch over to, let's go to Dom. As foil or Wyatt. How do
Yes.
you become the beacon?
How do I become the beacon?
Or starting out, just the very beginnings.
Sure. Wyatt himself is a pretty hardworking student. He's involved in just tons and tons of extracurricular activities, sports, music, theater, basically anything he could possibly get his hands on. But the one thing that he really, really, really took to was fencing. He is actually quite a decent swordsman. One of the teachers that he had was at least rumored to be a Golden Age hero that he learned from exceptionally well. He kept on placing very, very high in these types of tournaments, and it kept him pretty physically active. It kept him in great physical shape, and then it taught him that, hey, I mean, Halcyon City has people that can basically teleport through walls and bend steel with their bare arms, but I can put this tiny foil through a needle point, so I guess that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But he did not become beacon until finding a piece of super tech that actually changed the day.
Let's go to that scene. So, let's say one day after school, after work, your mom comes home. She's like, "Hey, Wyatt, how you doing?"
Hey, Ma. Oh, I'm wiped. Today was a long one. I'm just gonna try and catch up on homework.
So school's
How
going
was
well?
the station?
School's going well?
So well so far. I mean, I at least think I'm passing all my classes. I should be. I am. I am definitely doing that.
Yeah, you better be. So, I mean, you gotta be taking those fencing classes, and it's taking too much of your time.
Well, I mean, it's only after school. It doesn't take up too much time. It's not like I stayed late today or yesterday.
As long as you're passing everything and doing pretty well, I guess. I don't know, I know you're kind of interested in like technology and stuff. When I was patrolling around Super Tech, I found this glove. I set it up for Lost and Found. It's been like over 3 months, and no one's claimed it. So, it's kind of been released. So, I thought it was something you'd like. It doesn't seem like anything special, just as the lights up and stuff. But if you want it, you have it.
Oh, that's super cool. And then like Wyatt like takes it and is kind of like immediately like turning it over, like trying to mess around with it. But he doesn't really have a head for that type of stuff. So to him, it's basically just like shiny glove, looks good, really like.
All right, well, just don't get in any trouble. Just keep doing well in school. It's not often I can come by night and I got my patrols. So
I promise you're never gonna get the radio call about me, okay?
I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna be one of those cops who bails out their kids. So if you get in trouble, it's on you.
Well, Dad already told us that when we were about 5, so.
That's right.
Well, don't be home too late, Mom.
I'm trying not to be. Well, just finish up your homework and get some rest.
Yeah, and Wyatt like kind of waves the glove and is like, "Thanks again. I'll give my sis a call about this. Maybe she knows more."
And with that, how does Wyatt start becoming the Beacon? What does he do?
So at first he would start messing around with the glove because hearing that it came from Super Tech, he knows that like crazy bonkers things come out of that building.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, all right, Mom may think that this is just a normal regular glove, but I know it's got to be something different. And so he'll start like basically like pushing buttons and twisting knobs and trying to see if like anything happens. And then after a while, like he'll slip it on and like kind of do that thing where like he's like in the mirror, like showing off with it, like trying to see like if it'll do anything. And then I would say at one point it's just he happens to key in the right thing, and he was upstairs in his room. And suddenly he is downstairs in the living room. And he doesn't know how he got there. And like he can feel like the hair on the back of his neck is like all completely standing up. The hair on his arms and legs is completely straight. And he's just like staring, looking around like, oh, right. Everything still kind of checks out, I guess. And then that's when he sees that the glove was like beeping and lighting up and doing things now. It was not just inert. And so from there, I'd say that that's when he began calling his older sister Jennifer, who is actually majoring in quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Jen, you'll never believe what I just found. And they start having a bunch of late night conversations about what the hell is this thing? What did it do? How was it able to work with this? And she helps walk him through that this allows him to literally move through solid matter. It allows him to phase through things. And upon realizing that he has this amazing piece of technology, firstly, he never tells his parents, like, Mom can never find out that this is what she gave me, or that would be super bad. Secondly, he knows, my parents, Dad's a nurse, Mom's a cop. They spend their whole time, busting their asses, making sure that people are safe. And well, I'm pretty fit. I'm pretty strong, and now I've got this thing, and I bet you that the average, 2-bit mugger on the street doesn't expect this. So he gets cocky, and he decides that I want to put this to use. I want to see if maybe I can do as much good as they did. So, following in the example of his parents, he'll use the glove. He immediately starts calling it the Power Glove. It will only ever be the Power Glove to him. It's nothing else. He grabs like a fencing uniform. He has like the full mask and everything like that. He takes a cloak and like throws that on. He pauses for a moment, realizes I look like a LARPer, but all right. I mean, so does half the people on the streets these days. And he starts going out, basically deciding that he is going to stop minor crime, essentially.
Let's go to these with our conversion. Danny.
All right. Where do you want to start with this? Just from the beginning.
Yeah. How does Danny get his powers?
So Danny and his best friend, Marcus is, one of the smartest kids in school. Specializes in, he's kind of focusing on, different kinds of technology. So he is sort of taken under the wing by Danny's uncle Steve, Luce's father, and partially because of that, and the fact that he's a good kid, never gets in trouble, kind of doesn't touch things he's not supposed to and get things spilled on him. He kind of every now and then Steve will kind of bring him in and show him what he's working on, top secret stuff. And this one night, Marcus isn't able to make it, so it's just Danny, and he's working on this special conversion engine that's supposed to, take in, just residual energy. It's supposed to like kind of sustain itself. Well, when he goes to, demo it for Danny, nothing happens. Danny offers to help. He sees that there's a cable loose in there. He goes to connect it, and the engine kicks on and just kind of sends a surge of power through him. That's kind of his bitten by a radioactive spider kind of moment.
So let's go to that scene, actually. Right. Hey, Danny, did you find you see anything that might be an issue with this?
Looks like this cable's loose in here. You want me to just plug that in?
Yeah, sure. It's just a cable. It's fine.
He grabs the cable and he kind of looks for a second and finds where it seems like it's supposed to go, and he plugs it in.
Alright. Everything seems to look good. Alright. You should probably step out from that ground as you're walking back. Uncle Steve, he kind of turns his back, and the machine starts powering up. And he starts to hear. He's like, turns around to him. Oh, no. Okay, Danny, you need to get out of there now. And
what?
Danny, you alright?
Oh, I think so. Ooh, that felt different.
You're not hurt anywhere.
No, I don't think so. I feel okay. It's a little tingly.
God, your parents are gonna kill me. I never should have brought you here. Shoot.
Well, I mean, they don't have to know.
Kind of have to tell them I'm your uncle. Alright?
I mean, I'm not singed. I don't see any burn marks.
No, I mean, if you're fine, I guess it's no harm, no foul, right? I mean, no reason for me to get in trouble if nothing actually happened.
Yeah, we both stay out of trouble.
I guess. No, I'll continue working on this tomorrow. I'll just take you home for now. If you start feeling weird or anything, just let me know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So how do
Okay.
so after would your powers start to manifest immediately, or would they take some time?
I'm sorry.
Or is it-
They would have. Yeah. They would have started manifesting pretty quickly. Like he just notices he's. I'm just trying to think. Like he just kind of like he moves faster, and he just kind of like feels like he has more energy. And he can maybe like he can basically send out like kinetic, like his powers are that he absorbs energy and he can convert it into kinetic blasts basically. So he might have, something might have like fallen, he react, like maybe something falls and he reacts and just kind of like blasts it across the room with a kinetic blast.
um, let's say as you're walking down to you and Steve are walking down to his car, so he's ready to take you back home. You're not quite used to your speed yet, so you actually step too fast and trip on your own feet. As you hit the ground, you notice that it doesn't quite hurt like it's supposed to when you fall and hit concrete. So as you get up, would you use your powers as you're getting up? Let's see your sudden blasts from your hands and you're trying to pick yourself up. How would you react to that?
Probably with a mix of surprise, confusion, and a little bit of excitement because he really likes superheroes.
It's gonna be like, oh geez, dang, what the hell was that?
I'm not sure. I think some kind of force blast kind of thing.
God. Well, I guess I can't take you home now. Just come back up. We'll see what we can figure out about this. Yeah, I'm really in for it now. Alright, yes. Let's come up and see what's going on with you.
Okay.
So as your neck in Steve's office, it's like, alright, so did you notice anything different? That all of a sudden, I don't know, those blasts came from your hand.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel a little different. Like I was a little tired when I got here, but I like maybe not as much now. Like I kind of feel faster, stronger a little bit.
Faster and stronger.
It's hard to explain.
Maybe you can test it out a little bit. No, run a small lap around the office.
Okay, and he just runs, kind of really fast, almost like he's kind of skipping on air.
Oh, God, my papers. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Don't need to make a trail in the carpet or anything. Jeez. Okay. Stronger, I guess. I don't know. I've been waiting for maintenance to move that machine to the other side of the room. See if you can do it. If it feels like you can't, don't try to force yourself.
Okay, and he manages it pretty easily compared to what he should be able to do.
It's normally at least a 2-person job. And that's like with the dollies and rollers and some winches and things like that. Wow.
Feel all that heavy?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing now. What do you want to do about it?
I kind of want to be a superhero. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I've got powers. I need a suit though.
I guess guess it's my fault you like this, since you got these powers. Least I can do is help you out.
Your fault. I should be thanking you. This is awesome.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hopefully these positives are the only thing come out of it. Hopefully there's some negatives. And if you're a superhero, I guess I can tell your parents and all that. That would be morally wrong for me to out your identity. So
Oh,
far be it
absolutely.
from me, to go around exposing you. Alright, so maybe come around and I don't know, maybe you can troubleshoot making you a suit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good.
If you're a superhero, you gotta have a suit, right?
So definitely.
Alright, so I'll leave it up to you what excuse you can give your parents to come hang out with me.
I can think of something.
Just make it good.
I mean, I'm always spending time with Marcus anyway. I can just say we're studying or playing video games.
It's believable enough. Just make sure, Marcus doesn't say you're not.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Alright. I guess I'll be seeing you around. It's getting late. I really should be taking you home. If there's anything else, really, if you start doing anything else, tell me immediately. Maybe there's a way to fix it. Because if it's something bad, there's no way I'm not gonna have to stop what it is.
Okay, yeah.
Alright. Obviously drives you home. So now we're going to Iona. So, Iona, you are the outsider, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you've always had these powers, right?
Yep. Pretty much.
What powers do you have?
So the ones that are normal for her species are flying. They're also pretty tough, and they're telepathic.
Right.
The one that's unusual for her species, but not unheard of, is the radical shapeshifting. And it's typically what gets you into the Pathfinder program.
So I guess for you, since, this is just who you are, we'll start Iona with the introduction ceremony. Because you, Iona, are coming down to Earth as a representative of your species. What is the name of the aliens that you are called? The alien group? Aliens?
Hold on. That's the one thing I forgot to bring up. Go back to my drive. And oh, there it is. Her people are the Stigna.
Okay, the Stigna. Right, so at the ceremony, it was like, what would be the name of your contact, the main contact form of your alien peoples?
Andromeda?
Andromeda. So Andromeda is there with the mayor. This is a televised event. This is like we are proud to send one of our own. Iona, is Virtue your last name? What would be your actual last name?
So for her alien last name would be Vess, but when she's in her human guise, it's Iona Virtue.
At Iona Vest, yeah, proud member of the stigma, but a young one. We will bring them into your fold so that they can learn from you and that you can learn from us. We thank you, Mayor Calloway, for allowing us this opportunity. As a show of good faith, Iona, could you please show the peoples what you could do?
Well, the first thing I'll do is fly up in the air, because that seems to be the most obvious crowd pleaser around here. And while I'm up in the air, I'll speak into several people's minds throughout the crowd and then let that thought scatter among the crowd, so it's kind of like a wave going outward. And then as a grand finale, I'll change into a gorilla because I saw one of those at the zoo when I was doing my reconnoitering. I'm just going to drop.
So as you can see, the abilities of our species are quite varied indeed. But there have been quite a few in your city as well, many of whom you call heroes. So we hope that someone such as like Iona can only learn the virtues from them, that you could learn what we have to offer you as well. And we shall send Iona to a host family, and that's where who they will live with for the rest of this school year. If things go well, then perhaps more of us shall come down. And as Iona comes down, we'll be sending back up Mark Thompson to be a representative of you as well, to come observe us and see how we perform in our homeland. Seeing as how space travel is limited, Mark shall take Iona's vessel back to us. So in 2 months' time, we will have this exchange of goodwill, good faith between our peoples. We thank you all and hope this leads to prosperity for everyone. And with that, the ceremony, everyone's clapping, there's flashes everywhere, everyone taking pictures and photo ops with the mayor, there's handshakes all around, introductions of you and Amadeus, just being introduced around, and as things die down, they see you off back to your larger spacecraft as you head back to the homeworld to prepare for your stay in Halcyon City. And with the backgrounds done, I think for now that's where we are going to take a break. So come back and we will see what happens after.
If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdwear.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right. Hello, everybody. We are back. So we just gone through our intros for everyone, and now let's see where it goes from there. All right. So it's starting. So in the group, I believe Wyatt, Luce, and Danny know each other.
Yes.
So, could you explain your relations?
Danny and Luce are cousins,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and Danny and Wyatt work together at the local coffee shop called the Mellow Espresso.
Yes.
Awesome.
And Wyatt and Luce met like a long time ago when we were doing that sort of rotation of like our parents trying to find like what sport or activity we wanted to do.
Mhm.
And Luce just sort of washed out of anything athletic, but Wyatt was pretty chill, and they like became friends. So they've been friends, I think, since before either of them had powers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think we need to talk a bit about Luce. So you've been hanging around your father's work, right, over at Super Tech.
Yeah.
Have you been doing delinquent stuff around there?
You mean like during the day?
Times when you spend with your father, let's say, like, because you sometimes hang out with your father after work, after school, right?
Yeah. So I think by hang out with my father there, I think what it actually means is like I do my homework or doodle or whatever while he keeps working, right?
Mhm.
But the lab is more interesting than my mom's work in the legal department, so I'd rather be in the lab. Yeah, I mean, I think after the accident,
Mhm.
being in the lab is probably one of the few places where I mostly behave. It's like that and the school theater are really the only places where I'm like a respectable person. So yeah, I probably just treat it like study hall, like do any homework or do stuff for outside work or stuff for theater or whatever.
Okay. So you don't really scope out the place or use your powers while at his work?
Oh, I probably scope it out and that's a good point. I probably do scope it out a little bit, because I plan to come back and break in later.
So what do you scope out? How do you go about doing that?
I think one of the big things is I have my dad at some point show me like what their security looks like. And not in a show me how I can break in, but what have they developed to like counteract superpowers given how many like super folks are just like running around this city
Mhm.
at all times, and not all of them are like superhuman beings, and sort of approached it from that kind of like interest in the technology and the science of it, and just kind of seen what they had and like see how it kind of affects me, so I have some idea of what's coming up.
Okay. Right. So yeah, I guess when scoping out, you're able to notice like maybe there's some like pressure plates in certain areas, some motion sensors in certain parts of the building. Definitely. There are also a couple of rooms that seem to be very heavily guarded. Can almost, if you get close to it, you almost feel like you get that smell in the air of maybe kind of ozone, so you kind of think maybe it's electrified or something. It's very heavy defenses in certain areas, so I mean, how much you want to inspect and kind of prod around certain areas is up to you. How much would you inspect all these areas?
Yeah, I would definitely I would definitely do some looking around. I would probably like sort of if there are security guards there, like maybe try and goad them into telling me something.
Mhm.
That sort of thing. I'm pretty sure that I'm like the smartest and just like better than everybody else. So so I think I would definitely try and fast talk some information out of them on occasion. See if I can get anything.
All right. So yeah, I mean, the guards aren't too forthcoming about anything, you know. I mean, they know you're a kid. They know you're the kid of it's like they know your father works here, so they're not too worried about anything, you know. If anything, every now and then you'll get a guard who's like, fine, and he'll show you, like, if you look over there, you can see those lines right there, and they try to hide it a bit, but you know they've put in like certain pressure plates like right there, you know, and like they're like, this door's like, they actually electrified it. It's like no one's allowed to go in there. Usually it's only like the CEO or some of the top scientists. You know, it's very off limits. Very, I think it's one of those. You have to like have clearance. I don't know if it's government clearance, but definitely, you know. I think they have that whole rotating code words kind of thing going on. It's crazy. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on around here.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I know. Like, you know, we're just told to watch the doors and kind of stuff. You know, so you know, we're keeping an eye out.
What if somebody, like, you know, like not a bad person, but like, what if somebody gets stuck in there? Could you like can you like turn it off? Like, how do you get somebody out of there if they've fallen accidentally?
I don't know. I mean, there might be safety measures inside, but who knows? I mean, as far as we know, it's just a vault. And if you're stuck in there, you could just die. I mean,
That seems really questionable.
I mean, not if
For
it's
you to have at your workplace? I mean, what if you fell in there? Do you think they pay out workers' comp for that? Like, probably not.
I mean, it's just a vault. If you don't go through the door when you're not supposed to, you won't get stuck. I mean, it's not like we have the codes anyways.
What if there's like an accident? Like, you slip and fall and land in there?
I mean, the door's never open. It never happens. It'll never happen. Come on.
This doesn't seem like OSHA certified or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Whatever that is.
Aren't you in high school? How do you even know what OSHA is?
I've heard of it, okay? I read.
Uh-huh. Alright, I think it's time for you to head back to your father.
Fine. It's not like he's missed me anyway. Which, like, sort of puffs away.
Sure thing, kid. Yeah, at least he's spending time with you.
She might just like straight up, like, as she's walking away, like flick him off on the way back, like, nope, doesn't miss me, shut up.
Alright, so let's go to let's start with Danny. So conversion. How long has it taken you to actually start being a hero?
I mean, probably not too long. Like, I feel like he would, you know, kind of figure out what he wants for his you know, costume pretty quickly. I think like Uncle Steve would probably, you know, have the idea for the emblem on the, you know, like kind of on his chest and back and everything. To kind of, it's basically like a dot in, you know, the center of the chest and the back, and then there's arrows that kind of crisscross going, you know, and over the top and then onto the bottom, with like the arrows connecting from the front and the back, like kind of, you know, over his shoulders on the top and just around his midsection on either side. So, you know, he'd get that figured out, and, you know, he would be practicing, you know, his abilities and everything, you know, wherever he could, you know, finding quiet places to figure out what he can do, and then just kind of start small, you know, so probably like 2-3 days for him to kind of start to get the confidence up to go out and maybe kind of start stopping, just like petty crimes.
Right. All right. So, as you're doing these, you've come across a very specific evildoer, crime doer. Sort of, I can almost say it's like a nemesis or arch enemy. Let's see, what was her name again?
Red Ferret.
Red Ferret. So, what does Red Ferret do, and how do you guys become nemesis?
Let's see. I think while he's out on patrol, he sees a figure on the roof of the local museum, and sees them kind of, cutting a hole in a skylight and just slipping in. So he would go over to investigate, and just find her poking around in there.
Mm-hmm. Right, so let me see Red Ferret. She's like, they're one of those heroes trying to stop me from doing what I'm trying to do.
Well, that's the plan. What are you doing in here anyway? It doesn't look like you're looking for anything specific.
Yeah, maybe I'm not. Maybe just trying to see if I can get in.
Okay, you're aren't supervillains supposed to be have a more plan?
I mean, I'm inside, so I've accomplished my plan right now.
Seems like aren't villains' plans supposed to be more complicated? I mean, I know I'm new to this and all, but
Man, who says I'm not new too? I mean, I'm just testing things out. Maybe I'll be a hero.
Heroes don't usually break into places like museums.
Yeah, well, it's a damn shame, ain't it? Anyways, she turns her back to you, and she takes out one of those extendable clubs, and she's looking at some necklace in a case, and she just breaks the glass, setting off the alarm. She grabs that and like, well, I guess this is going to count as a plan too. And all of a sudden, glass just starts. All the glass that's broken, including the circular glass, just starts, it's being thrown at you from all different directions. It's circling you. What do you do to get away from this?
He's going to kind of send a kinetic blast out, just kind of get rid of the glass that's around him.
All right. Could you unleash your powers for me?
Will.
First roll.
An 8. So on an 8, unleash your powers. So you mark a condition, or you can be unstable or temporary.
I'd say unstable would be fitting.
Right.
If it's up to me.
So you do unleash the kinetic blast, but it's just enough to stop the stuff that's immediately around you. And as you do it, the glass around you kind of just starts to fall down. It showers around you. None of it actually hitting you because of the blast, but it didn't exactly spread out and hit all the walls or anything. And as you look around, you notice that Red Ferret is gone. So you did just enough to cause a distraction where she's just not there anymore. So if you could just give us a couple quick scenes, like what kind of events would you have come across and be foiled, where you just can't seem to catch her. Like, what would you have seen her be doing? A couple of small different things.
I mean, probably just, he'd be jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Mhm.
You know, like probably if people see him in between stopping things, like maybe they think he's a prowler, or maybe they see him, stopping somebody from a crime, but they didn't see the crime happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it could be easily mistaken that he's just kind of running around harassing people.
Yeah, so as you're going around from scene to scene, you keep on finding scenes of broken glass, but it's like it's definitely patterned. It's not like broken glass from someone just shattered a window. It's like it was shattered, and then very specifically sent out in specific directions, not in any sort of shadow patterns. So you're just going around. I'm guessing you'd be constantly looking around the city trying to find her before she could do whatever she's trying to do.
Okay, yeah, I misunderstood what you were saying. Yeah. They just trying to figure out her pattern.
All right. Let's see from here. Let's go to Intervention Boy or Lance. So from what you've heard from Intervention, I guess you figured out maybe you should at least try out the superhero thing for just, maybe at least once or twice to see if it's something you like.
Yep, Lance is feeling the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. And of course, he's really grateful to Intervention for saving his life, and he wants to pay her back. This seems like the obvious way to do it. Parents agree. They're very on board with the superhero train. So,
Right.
I guess he gets a suit, which is a knockoff of Intervention's suit, which is a blue and yellow, just like an X-Men suit, but not as themed. Intervention's logo is on the front, which is a lightning bolt. It symbolizes her sword, which is a lightning sword. He doesn't have that sword, but it's the logo, so you got to go with it. It's the parents' idea that he should be Intervention Boy, or at least dress up like Intervention, and then he goes out to fight crime. Yay! And he's very insecure about that.
So, let's say it's like your first or second time going out, you come across this female breaking into a store, just cutting a circle into the glass. It's a jewelry store. So, what do you say to her?
I'd say, stop. You don't have to do this. This is a crime, and you could go to jail. But if you stop now, I can just let you go, and we can pretend this never happened. What do you say?
Stop? I mean, you don't even know my life. He was like, look at you. You're just a kid. Are you trying to be a superhero? I was like, what do you even call yourself?
I don't really know, but I think I'm supposed to stop you from stealing things. Like this could ruin your life. I don't know how bad your life is, but jail isn't gonna make it any better.
I have people to feed. I've tried damn all to do to get a job. Ain't nothing. You don't even understand what the economy's like, do you, kid?
I don't.
You're just running around here. Well, you're dressed up like Intervention, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I don't know what she would say to you in this moment, but I'm sorry for your troubles. I wish you didn't have to, I wish you had better options than this,
Mm-hmm. Well. Tell you what. If you're able to stop me from getting into this store, then I'm just going to run away and not take anything. And we can just call it that. How's that sound to you?
Wait, what? I'm supposed to let you break in and you won't steal anything? That's the deal?
No, you gotta try and stop me from breaking in, obviously. And she shatters the glass and
Whoa!
sends it flying
How
towards you.
does she shatter the glass?
What was that?
How does she shatter the glass?
She takes out a retractable club and just smashes the window she was trying to get into.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And then glass just starts shooting towards you.
Whoa! I run away with super speed, so
All right.
I'm scared of the glass.
So you run away as
Like, I'm not used to facing lethal danger, which is what glass shards coming at your face is.
Let's do Let's do an unleash your power. See how well you do it.
Oh, dang. Unleash the powers. And would that work again? That's
Just roll freak.
freak, right. Sorry. A lot of tabs. Yeah. Whoa!
Full hit. All right. So as you turn away, you notice that the glass seems to be moving in slow motion. It's like, so what do you do with this burst of speed that you've gotten? Knowing
All
that
the glass seems to slow down, and I avoided tapping some of it away, and I try to get around it so I can get back at this super villain who apparently has glass powers.
All right. So as you get around it, you end up moving right in front of her before she's able to enter the store. She's like, all right, fine. You're able to stop me.
Please don't do this.
I guess I'll just go then. I mean, that's what we agreed upon, right? You're just gonna let me go?
Oh, thank God. Thank you. And please don't do this anymore. Like, there's got to be a better way.
Sure, kid. We'll see.
I hope things pick up for you.
Yeah. At least you seem to get at least as fast, like, intervention. Don't deal with small, petty shit like this. Alright. Hope to never see you again, kid.
Same to you. Bye.
And she runs off.
I'm feeling that pride of a job well done.
Alright. So, Wyatt.
Yes.
Now that you have your new glove and powers, you know, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with your powers? Is there anyone you're trying to impress?
With the glove, at the very least. Yeah, if anything, he would be trying to impress Luz, because Luz was always like the basically like, I don't give a shit, you know, kind of cool kid, and all of their interactions, and Wyatt was always very much straight and narrow, very much like, you know, I do what I'm supposed to do, and nothing more, nothing less. So having something that makes him like really special now, he thinks that's pretty freaking snazzy, and then that he can show off a little bit.
All right. So where are you going to do this? Let's say you and Luz started talking after school. You know that Luz tends to hang out with her dad, so so you're around the Super Tech building. So
Okay.
let's see, between you and Luz, how do you try and impress her, and what do you say to that, Luz?
Sure. Wyatt is kind of messing around and going, security in this place is pretty tight, I hear. They stop multiple break-ins a day. Bet you
I mean, they do that by, like, it doesn't have anything to do with people, right? I mean, they're not doing it. It's the various, like, traps and systems and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, those are only good if you get caught.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, there's pressure plates that you can like fall into and just like be there for an indeterminate period of time. I mean, there might be, one of the security guards like talked about having an on-off switch, but find it definitively.
Yeah. So, what's that soda you like out of the vending machine in the lobby there?
Root beer?
Yeah. I'll get you one of those. I'll be right back.
Alright.
And Wyatt is going to try and use the power glove to phase through the building to go and get soda.
Alright. So can you also unleash your powers for me?
No. I am a beacon. I cannot do that. Let's see.
I mean, you have a glove.
I do have a glove. Let's see. I told you I cannot do this.
Alright, so that's actually perfect, because on a 6, you do manage to get through. But as you're in the room, your glove sort of shorts out. You know, it's like, oh. You hear some electrical crackles coming from the glove.
Fuck, are you serious right now? And like immediately, like he starts like messing with it as much as he can to try and figure out like it goes very quickly from like, okay, we'll just turn it off and turn it back on, to him like slamming it against the wall, like, please work.
Your personal IT department went from 0 to 60 really fast there.
Someone who's worked IT, this is very accurate.
That's right. Also,
restarting doesn't solve it. All hell breaks loose.
Might mark potential for your failure. And when you look around the room, you see there's no exits. It's almost like there's no doors. If there is a door, there's no handle. Hey, Legion A Action Official, thank you for raiding. We're currently playing Masks: A New Generation and just kind of finishing up our intro of our characters and how they get to where they're coming. So, yes, so as this door you're looking at, if it's even a door, it's just, if anything, all you can see is an outline of what looks like it could be a door.
Mm-hmm.
There's no handles, there's no number pad. It's just a room with no exit.
Okay. Which has Wyatt on edge, because he's like, this is definitely not the lobby. I definitely did not mean to go here, but seeing no other way out and realizing his phasing glove is not working, he'll start cautiously going towards the door, and as like he takes a step, he's like, wait, shit, she said pressure plates. And so now he's like crawling on the ground, like pushing ahead to make sure he doesn't set off anything.
The pressure plates they're not pitfalls, they're just, they set off alarms.
Yeah.
So as you,
he doesn't know.
as you're feeling around for one of these pressure plates, you actually set one off and end up sending off the alarm. So you don't really hear anything, but you do see some lights flashing inside of the room.
Can I tell that the alarm's going off from where I am?
No.
Okay. Then I do nothing.
Yeah, Wyatt goes for the door. I mean, like at that point, it's just a full-on sprint. Like, must get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible.
And there's nothing you can do. The door is sealed. I mean, if you look around the room, there's like an empty table. This is maybe not even cups. It's an oddly bare room. You don't even know what it's used for. And
that's not creepy.
On the same night, conversion. You have managed to find a trail of glass that has actually led you to a red ferret.
Okay, is that? Do I recognize the building?
Yeah, it's excuse me. It's the Supertech building. You see a hole in the front glass. For some reason, there's no security guard in the sitting where in the front, keeping a lookout at things. But yeah, it's almost like she was slowly breaking stuff along the way and stealing small things before eventually getting to here.
She did have a plan, that liar. And he's gonna go in through the hole that he sees.
So as you come into the hole, you come across Red Fair. It's like, it's you again?
What can I say? I'm just, well, not lucky for you, I guess.
Yeah. So what's it gonna be this time? You're actually gonna try and stop me? You gonna try and turn me into the cops or something?
Well, you've upped your game, it looks like, so yeah, I kinda am.
Alright, well, you can try, I guess.
And he's just gonna go and try to grab her, I guess, to restrain her.
Right. As you're doing this, you see her throw something at the front door, and the door just shatters. Can you directly engage a foe for me? It's a danger roll.
Yes.
On a 3. Let's see. So on a 3, on directly engage, that's a... Let's see... Right. So, mark potential for the failure. And I'm going to change something up real quick. Don't mind me. So, as you're going to trying to stop her, all of a sudden this glass just, it comes and hits you on the side. It knocks you off course a bit, and as you start looking around, all of a sudden she's not there. Red Ferret. As you're looking around, you also notice there's a cop standing there. He's like, hey you, what the hell, why are you breaking in? Hands up. She pulls out a gun, points it at you.
Danny puts his hands and goes, whoa, I was trying to stop, crap.
Give me your name. Take off your mask.
Rather not. Conversion is, that's what I go by. I kind of need the mask on.
Alright, get on the ground, knees on the ground, head down, head behind your head, hands behind your head.
He complies.
Okay. And officer starts to call it in. It's like, alright, this is Agent Thorne over at Supertech. We got a report of alarm. I came to inspect it, and there seems to be a super who has broken in. Could you send some backup, please? Alright. So what powers do you have?
I absorb energy and blast things?
Yeah, you better not move. And with that, we're going to switch scenes to Iona. Iona, could you explain what your takeoff is like and how you're coming in to Halcyon City?
So in order to get her personal ship out of basically off planet. Her personal ship is partially living, so it can't handle extreme cold temperatures. So they have these things that are like boosters that it protects them in space, and it makes it so that they can go fast enough to travel between planets. She would hook onto that and then make her way into space before going pell-mell into whatever the fuck dimension that her ship goes into to get that distance that fast. She would probably burst out about a mile off from the planet and slow as fast as she could, but it's a ship. It's not going to slow very fast.
All right, so let's see. Let's roll a mundane for me.
I don't think I've ever had to roll mundane before. Nope.
Mark potential. So you're supposed to know how to fly this ship. But maybe you weren't quite as open about how much you really knew, how well you took in the lessons. As you're coming in, how does your entry look? I mean, you're obviously unsteady, you're walking back and forth. I'm guessing you hit a building or two?
I'm guessing, so the way I kind of envision it is she's psychically linked to her ship. She's not psychically linked to the booster on her ship.
Mm-hmm.
She has never used one of those before. So I imagine she came in and forgot to cut them, and then didn't know that there's junk satellites in Earth's orbit. So I have a mental image of her slamming into one of those and slamming into 3 more of those, then having the booster break apart and it all just kind of falling.
Right, so as this is falling, you know, you end up, the ship is careening from side to side. You know, it's a very unstable entry. As you're coming in, you end up, you actually trying to save yourself, you manage to pull up a bit, you're kind of skipping along the tops of these buildings, and then there's one building that you just can't seem to avoid. All you really notice before you're about to impact is this giant sign of Super Tech coming straight at you. And
my first thought is, I hope they're insured.
And this building is just, it's demolished. You know, it's rubble falling everywhere. You've destroyed a couple of the top levels. You know, it doesn't seem to be in danger of falling, but there's a lot of debris. Conversion, you feel this rumbling as you see, and as you look outside, you hear the screaming coming towards the building. From the ground, you just see this light smoke trails as the ship seems to be coming towards the building, and you just feel the building shake and everything starts to crawl and fumble around you. The ceiling starts to collapse a bit and actually falls on top of Police Officer Thorne. What do you do?
He's handcuffed?
No, this was in the middle of her interrogating you, trying to figure out what your powers were and telling you not to move.
Well, he's going to try to save her. If this is going to need a roll, I forgot to do this earlier. I'm going to use my mask move, which lets me swap my mundane with my freak.
Okay.
So that gives me a +3 to freak.
Okay. You can roll that.
Hey, good thing I did it.
Right. On a 9. Let's see, this is unleash your powers, right? The freak?
Yes.
Right. So marking condition or unstable or temporary.
Let's see. I'm going to mark insecure, just because of all the stuff that's going on. And, almost getting arrested has kind of made him question if he's really up to the task.
Right. Could you also... So, you're using your powers. How are you using powers to get to her?
I'm using the powers to lift, whatever the parts of the ceiling that fell on her.
Because you're dodging through, you're knocking pieces of the ceiling as it's coming towards you. It seems to fall at your feet because you're just absorbing the energy of it coming at you, of all these rubble. Could you mark or roll a powerful blow, please?
I'm sorry, what was that one more time?
Take a powerful blow.
Take a powerful blow.
On a
If I remember right, that works in reverse.
5, yeah. So you see a giant piece coming towards you, and you manage to avoid it. You don't know if it's something big enough to that you could actually absorb its energy. And as you lift up this piece of rubble off of Agent Thorne, or Officer Thorne, you notice, well, you did get to her, it's too late. And you just weren't prepared, you were on the ground, there's nothing you could do.
He's just gonna kind of silently, start beating himself up over, kind of going off half-cocked.
And so, as we pan out, there's people were expecting Ionmei to come. This was a planned event. There was a very specific destination for them, and when they don't arrive, people start looking to the skies, and they realize something's wrong. And so when they hear the ship crash into Supertech, everyone's on immediate alert. All the cops, all the firemen, everyone, the media, they all head over to the building immediately. While they're, as they're filming, the cops were already heading in that direction because of Officer Thorne calling in, seeing you conversion. And you see on the news that there's things that they've caught in the cameras, experiments that Supertech was working on that maybe they shouldn't have, maybe there's something, you see like maybe in the background, because Supertech is able to squash most of the video, or at least stop the cameras from getting in too close. There's definitely something in one of the broken rooms that you could probably see from a broken wall outside, some sort of creature in some sort of tube. And it's just devastation. Your dad gets a call late at night, and he comes to your room, and he's like, Hey, Wyatt, are you asleep?
No.
No.
I'm sorry, I can't sleep tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, we just... I just got a call from the... It's your mom, Wyatt. I don't know. I was watching the news, and apparently that the alien who was supposed to come down, They got off course somehow and they crashed into Super Tech, and for some reason your mom was in the building. It's not good, Wyatt.
Well, she's at the hospital. Then we've got to go. I'll get dressed. We have to go. We have to go to the hospital and see her.
Wyatt, no. They said she's gone. I guess some of the building fell on her.
No, I was. No. That's not what happened. That can't be. What happened?
I know, son.
Hey.
It's. Sorry. And he just hugs you tight.
Yeah, and Wyatt does the same, and it's just he has no words, like and just in his mind the entire time he's just thinking like, was it me?
So in this, they find. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Two weeks later. Or even a month later. Let's say a month. A month later, Luce, you're talking to a lawyer. You're like, okay, Luce, so your dad's gonna sign. He's gonna sign the plea deal. Supertech is pinning whatever they found on the bottom on him. I mean, they found video of you and Wyatt at Supertech. Just so they're saying that you and Wyatt were his accomplices, and that he was going around, without their permission, doing all these experiments. I mean, it's not in the news because you two are kids, but with this deal, they'll only implicate your father. With the you and Wyatt need to go to these counseling sessions. I mean,
I'm not gonna sign something that says my dad did anything wrong. You
don't have to sign anything, Luce. He's signing it himself.
I'm not gonna back him up on that. He had nothing to do with this.
I mean, there's nothing for you to sign. There's nothing for you to back, Luce. He doesn't want anything to happen to you or Wyatt, and he thinks this is the best way to go about it. At the very least, you and him could live out your lives.
So what's gonna happen to him?
Well, I don't know, they're gonna send him to jail. We're not sure how long. He could probably get out in good behavior. I don't know. There's real no way out. I mean, it's Supertech. They've got lawyers up the wazoo. There's, they can almost say whatever they want.
Why do they think my dad was even involved? He had nothing.
I mean, he was working there that night, and I guess it was just easier to implicate someone who was there.
They just don't want to admit that I could break their defenses on my own. Whatever.
I mean, they tried to get you too. Your dad's the only reason why you're not going to jail. You and Wyatt, you know. I mean, I'm sorry, Luce. There's nothing we can do. Conversion. Today you're not conversion, you are Danny. And you're in the hospital. You're sitting in a chair just looking at your uncle who's unconscious. Because he was trying to, you know, he was working on staying late at night at Super Tech, trying to help you out, trying to figure out if there's something you could do to help power up your powers, you know, or give you an advantage, make sure there's no downside, making you aren't actually, these powers weren't actually hurting you more than they were powering you up.
Is he unconscious or?
Yeah. He's just, all you can hear is the beep of the heart rate monitors.
Danny's just gonna stand, you know, kind of at the side of the bed and just quietly, you know, kind of, you know, why were you there? I'm fine, Uncle Steve. You didn't have to do this.
And Lance, as you're watching this news, something else comes up. It's an interview, you know, after they've been finished talking about the devastation, what's going on. There's an interview with this new author. She just sent out a book called The Trials and Tribulations of a Former Villain. You know, so she's on this late night talk show host, and she's just going on and saying, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, you know. I mean, I'm no longer a villain. I mean, but, you know, some of the things I went through was, you'd be surprised. I mean, there's even this one time where some superhero just straight up let me go for no reason whatsoever. I even attacked him. It was crazy. But, you know, I mean, I'm better now. I mean, I'm working with Aegis. That was the only way for me. I mean, I turned a new leaf after all that. But, you know, after they let me go, some kid dressed up like Intervention, you know. It's crazy who they let be superheroes these days. They don't even regulate the superheroes, you know. I mean, anyone can try and go out and be a superhero, apparently. I mean, it's not like there's a system or anything to see who's who or if they're properly trained. I mean, hell, after I was let go, I kept on doing more. I mean, I could swear I stole at least like $1 million worth of stuff afterwards, you know. Oh, who knows? Maybe if they were better trained or something, they could have stopped me, talked me out of it. Well, probably not. I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't even just try to turn me in at the moment.
So Lance experiences a lot of different emotions throughout that interview. Because first he's like, yay, she quit, I did it, woo! And then it's like $100 million worth of stuff stolen afterwards. And like, oh man. And then the speech about how we need more training, which I very much agree with. So I'm all like, okay, well, at least it turned out okay in the end.
The next day, there's a knock on your door. As your parents open the door, it's Intervention. He's like,
oh, hey.
Lance, So, did you happen to see an interview last night of some villain? She used to call herself the Red Ferret.
That was her name. I was so freaked out in the moment I forgot to ask. Gosh, that was scary. But
Was
yeah,
that-
she quit being a villain. So
Was that you? That
yeah,
didn't stop her?
I mean, I tried. She didn't rob the store that she was trying to rob, but
Alright, look, Lance. I told you didn't have to be a superhero. I told you could have lived a normal life. But obviously you chose to put on the suit. You even dressed up like me. You know, I mean,
that wasn't my idea. That was the parents. They said that would be a good way to honor you.
Lance, it doesn't matter whose idea it was. I mean, based off your costume, I mean, there's even some photos of you from, different stores. It's out in the streets. I mean, they were able to figure out who you were and know that you were the boy that we saved.
Oh man, everybody knows my identity.
So you are inextricably tied from us, apparently.
I could quit. Do you want me to quit?
You put on the
You want
suit, Lance.
You can just take it off. If that's what you want. I don't want to hurt you, intervention.
You put on the suit, and because you're tied to us, now you have to become a hero.
Oh.
You will be a hero, Lance, and you will restore our name. You will not be a failure to the Alwansi.
Okay. I'm trying.
Alright, we're gonna find some classes for you. Learn your powers, figure it out.
That's probably good.
We have to sort this out on our end. It took us a long time to get that goodwill with everyone in the city. Hopefully you didn't ruin it all.
Everybody loves you.
Yeah, they do. They love me. Well,
I'm sorry if I made that worse.
Well, you're going to turn that into a positive. If you need me, you can talk to me. In case of emergency only.
Alright.
But really, contact me again when you're a hero.
Alright.
Alright. And intervention just turns and leaves.
Dang. Alright, Lance goes to his room and proceeds to be depressed for a bit. That's the normal reaction to something like that.
Depressed teenager? That's so unusual.
I know. But after something like that, it's what you do.
Ione May. So there's another press conference about this whole debacle you've created. The microphones are all pointed at you. And John Madej is like, we sincerely apologize for all the troubles we have caused. It's quite obvious that the amount of damage and unfortunate loss of life, there's no true way we can repay you. But we will not allow this tragedy to deter the good that was supposed to come from this. Ione, you will continue to stay with amongst you and learn from your people, and hopefully you can learn from them as well. Ione will also take any precautions to better themselves that you deem fit. Ione?
I think that the way that she kind of demonstrates that she's going to stay and try to better herself according to their ways, she's going to take off her helmet. And the stigma look really weird. They have like giant black eyes that are very spider-like. She's actually going to change gradually away from the stigma look and become human. As her like sign of integrating. Then she's gonna stand there awkwardly because she has no idea what to say.
And Giovanni was like, Ione, say something.
Sorry, my first instinct was to talk about space trash. She'd probably look out at the crowds and be like, I will strive to uphold the honor of my people and the dignity of your people and work every day to earn your forgiveness for what has happened here.
And Jomade is like, hopefully this will suffice. We will fund as much as we can to completion the restoration of the damaged city. Unfortunately, we cannot repair life itself, but we will do what we can to help the family in their grieving. We shall bring Mark up with us as well, and hopefully we can maintain the civil talks amongst everyone. And with that, the press conference ends. You know, some murmurs. You know, no one seems too pleased about the results, but there's not much they can do. So everyone's just walking out, writing their stories, their news articles, trying to figure out what their opinions on this whole situation is. In the days to come, Supertech not being able to deal with the backlash between what was caught in the cameras and the devastation to the building, they filed for bankruptcy. The CEO stepped down, and they were bought out by a new company called VentureSci.
Can you type that in the chat?
VentureSci.
Got it.
So it's about time for school to start back up again. If you give a brief rundown of what your first day is like as you all go back.
I probably got bullied to shit. A lot of people not wanting to look me in the eye.
Danny's more quiet than usual. Maybe looks a little tired.
Lance is very depressed because he feels like an utter failure to intervention, who he's super grateful to. And he's having a really hard time just being a person as well, because he's a jock and he can't play sports anymore because super speed and super strength and make that impossible. So he's just like drifting through the day, like keeps replaying that scene with intervention in his head, wondering if he could have made it better by saying something else. And he's just really obsessing about it.
I think Luz really is pretty reclusive. I think she goes to some of her classes and then spends the rest of the time like sort of hiding in the costume shop in the theater, and we'll probably like ask like text Wyatt and see if he wants to like have lunch in there with her.
We'll say Wyatt like literally replies with just like K.
Typing. Okay.
Yeah. No, pretty much. His entire time back is almost like completely just detached. At several points, like he'll just get up and leave classes at that point, and just like either like go to the gym or just like walk around the campus. It's very, very clear like he's abandoned all sort of extracurricular. He's very much abandoned any sort of drive that he has for this.
As the school day winds down, you were all given an address before you started to where you were all to head to once school got out. You were instructed not to join any extracurricular activities, for this would be your only one.
It's gonna be easy. And I guess the depression squad heads over there.
As you head out to this building in close to the center of Halcyon City, an industrial-ish area, it's come upon it seems like a warehouse. The doors are closed. Do you all go in as a group? Or
I will be behind everybody, so nobody has to look at me.
I think Danny would, assuming he, was told about this separately from everyone else, he would have stepped away and changed into his conversion suit.
I think Luce is late. I think she was doing something in the shop, or maybe stopped on the way to like draw something, or get an energy drink or something,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think she's relatively significantly late.
Lance is on time, but not in his super suit because he feels a lot of negative emotions towards the thing right now.
Yeah.
So he's just in his civilian gear.
I'd say Wyatt was probably early. He doesn't have anywhere else to go or anything to be, and he just wants to get this over with.
And Lance gives Wyatt the nod when he walks in.
And
Amen.
Wyatt returns. You too, huh?
Well, at least I'm not alone.
Supposedly, they got a small bunch of us. Were you
Really?
also there that night, or?
There where?
And Wyatt kind of like looks around like, super tech. Where else?
Well, the No, I was at home watching it on the news. Nowhere near that place. You were there? That's awful.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
heard
you
some
can say
people
that.
died.
and at that, Wyatt gets very noticeably like clenched jawed and silent, and he nods.
I'm real sorry.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
So as you all enter, you come upon this old man, extremely old, in a warehouse, standing in the center, watching you all. He's got a cane. This was up in your nose. You're all late.
Check the time. All right.
I mean,
Maybe.
you're all supers, right? You've all got powers. Is this really the fastest you could have gotten here?
He kind of looks around like, I was here before you.
If you wanted me to be here earlier, then just give me a different time, man. Look, I've had a hard day, and I don't need this. I'm here to do what you say, but you don't have to give us a hard time. Like, we're here. We're gonna do what you say. Cut us some slack.
I think maybe about now is when Luce comes sort of sauntering in and is like, what?
Welcome in, by the way.
Right. Well, for some reason, all of you, some more obvious than others, just looking over at Luce, Wyatt, and Ionme, all of you have been required to be under counseling. No one else seemed to have wanted to, so I came out of my retirement to do this. Who else would
Cool.
want
Are we supposed to feel honored about that, dude?
to feel however you want to feel about that? But just keep in mind, I am the one who is reporting back to everyone. I mean, if you mess up with me, who knows where to send you after?
Please don't send me home.
Well,
Why, you gonna crash into another building there?
No, those ones move.
How lucky.
Buildings move? What?
I guess that explains your bad aim.
No, that was all the trash that was up in the sky.
And a spaceship, you can't dodge. Oh, fine. Whatever.
y'all are gonna have to be able to get over everything that's happened at some point. Because y'all are a team now.
That is some grade A counseling there, counselor. Just get over it.
Or are you complaining?
No. No,
We
sir.
haven't really begun to complain. You'll know when that happens.
Oh, I'm sure I will. So, if y'all don't know who I am Thomas Gray. I'm sure some of you may have heard of who I was. Really?
Weren't you kind of a big deal in the city like 50, 60 years ago?
Who are we supposed to have heard of?
60 years, huh? Is that how you kids perceive time these days? Right. Well, you all have the fortune of being trained by the one and only Night Justice.
At this point, Conversion to kind of jump up and go, "Oh, you're Night Justice?" Sorry. Just kind of slinks back down. kind of embarrassed.
Is he a big deal?
I follow a lot of comics, a lot of supers.
Oh, all right.
Lean in. What's a comic?
Get on stage and tell jokes.
Now, unlike most of you, I actually don't have any superpowers. I, through my intellect and ability to make awesome gadgets through that intellect, I mean, sure, money might have helped, but I was a self-made hero. None of them's fancy powers.
So you're like Mark Zuckerberg, but old.
All right.
I'll lean into Danny again. Who's Mark Zuckerberg? I'm not following any of this.
See, you're gonna
Thing
be
where
in
people
trouble.
talk.
So, with that, I'm gonna start with seeing what you all can do. And he taps his cane, and the floor behind him starts opening up, and you start seeing tons of equipment in this room that looks like it's for exercise and more. Like, you all have to survive through this.
Hey.
And
You're not kidding
that's-
around.
Doesn't sound pleasant.
It won't be. Trust me. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
All right.
So, if we can go around, let's go in reverse order. Start with Paladin Hulk. Favorite scene, where can we find you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk. You can find me everywhere at Paladin Hulk. I am a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. You can find me there. I am a regular on Margaret Cohn's charity game Wednesdays. Sometimes you can find me there. Sometimes it's other people get a shot. And you can find me Sundays playing a lawful good pirate on a pirate D&D campaign where I try and make friends with all the evil pirates, and it doesn't go so well. It's real fun. And that's me. This was a heck of a ride. Jesus.
Seriously.
All right, next.
Rain Ghost.
I am Rain Hayes. You can find me here every Sunday morning playing Legend of the Five Rings, as well as Monday afternoon, early evening-ish, I guess night for East Coasters, playing the Ravnica D&D 5e campaign. I also make products for Dungeon Masters Guild. I just released a big 29-page package of subclasses for Ravnica. Yeah, this went heavy real quick. So sharp left turn. I remember you saying that you were going to break things.
I did say I was going to
Yeah.
break things.
I think I underestimated the amount of breakage that there would be.
I enjoyed every moment of it.
Don.
Yeah, so again, I am Don. I will be in the very next episode of Side Quests, premiering on Monday. I will be playing in 7C, run by Throck. I am very excited about everything involving that. I'm currently not in any other games for Welcome to the Party, but if you want more of my very tired voice here, you can actually catch me at a podcast that I do with a bunch of friends, Drinking with Nerds, both on Podbean and Apple Podcasts, and you can reach us on Twitter at nerds_drinking.
Alright. Cellar Door.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter at CellarDoor10. And then in terms of gaming, I have a podcast that's been recently added to the Welcome to the Party sort of family. And that's the Book Zombies Curse of Strahd. And that recently just started getting hosted by Welcome to the Party within the past couple weeks. So that's new and fun. I think we've put out 8 or 9 episodes. We've recorded like 12 or 13, but we've put out like 8 or 9 episodes so far. And that's a D&D 5e playthrough of Curse of Strahd. And then the other game that I'm in is on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Central, over at Roll Control. And that is also D&D 5e, and that's been going on for about, I think we're at about 15 months now, every Tuesday. So,
All right.
yeah.
V's News?
I'm V's, at V's Knees on Twitter. This is the only long-running game I'm on right now. Not really scheduled for any one-shots or anything right now, but I'm active on the Welcome to the Party. I'm also active over on Scraticus Academy. Might be showing up in some viewer games over there. We will see in the future.
Awesome. And I am Wild Engineer, your GM for today. You can catch me on Tuesdays on Greyhawk Channel, where I'm in D&D playing 7 Intelligence Barbarian. On Thursdays, you can catch me here on Welcome to the Party, playing some Masks, also with Nerdy Teddy, but that's a totally different version, where we're playing knights very similar to the Power Rangers type, so that's fun. And on Saturdays, you can catch me on Underdog's channel playing some Invisible Sun. Yeah. So, thank you all for being players in my first campaign game. I hope you enjoyed me breaking everything. Yeah, so hopefully we can try and send everyone off to a raid now. I believe Scraticus is going. I believe he's doing a birthday stream.
Oh yeah, he's doing like a 18-hour, 24. Somebody else probably knows.
20 hours.
20-hour. That's what it is. I knew it was something.
It keeps getting longer as the more subs he gets. So.
Okay, got it. Oh, it's a subathon. That's what it is too.
There you go.
He was over 24 hours when I left there to come to play this. So.
Well, I guess we're starting to head out for the raid. So, bye everyone.
Woo!